I'm just going to say short prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktvrinda. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांता स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य ईश्वरम् गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमाप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरात्मसे नमः आराध्यो भगवान् व्रजेशतनयास् तद्धामा वृन्दावना रमया काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण वा कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणम् अमलं प्रेमापुमार्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभुर्मतमिदं तत्राधरा नापरा. Okay, we'll get started. So I have a very quick PowerPoint that I made in last like 10 minutes. I'll just share. It does not have much information, just the pictures of the devotees that we are discussing. So again, today's Gaur Purnima, we are discussing Mahaprabhu's Mahaprakash Lila. So all of you know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came about 500 years back, to be exact, about 539 years back. Okay, he appeared in Bengal in an area called Navdvi. Some of you may have all, even been there, where the present day Mayapur is. So Mahaprabhu had a very, specific mission why he came. He had a specific mood in which he came, and every form of Krishna has a different mood, has a different mission, different type of teachings that they give. Mahaprabhu's mood, you all understand, is that of basically he's Krishna. Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna, who is coming in the mood of Radharani. So he's coming in the mood of a devotee, and that too a very, very pure, the topmost devotee of Krishna. So he's Krishna who's coming to relish what devotional service tastes like, what Radharani feels, what is her emotions, what happiness does she feel when she serves him, what enjoyment does she get when she sees him, serves him, and what is this devotional service about? So not only he wanted to taste it, but he also wanted to spread that love of Radharani, that mood of devotion, this devotional service to the whole world. He wanted to give it to everyone without any consideration for any qualifications, caste, color, gender, any low-born or high-born family, nothing, or any wealth they have. He didn't want to look at any of those things. He just wanted to spread this devotional service. And the best way to taste devotional service is through chanting of holy names. So his mission was to spread this devotional service through chanting of holy names. So he came to establish what we call Sankirtan movement, or which is considered the Yug Dharma of this Kali Yuga. So every yuga has a particular um, way in which self-realization can be achieved. There is a prescribed way in which self-realization can be achieved for each dharma, because in each dharma, consciousness of people is different, their caliber, their qualifications is different. So in Kali Yuga, people are so fallen, the souls are so degraded in their consciousness, they are so contaminated that they are not really capable of performing a lot of austerities or acquire gyan, sit in meditation, dhyan, they don't have purity to do yajna, tapa, all those things. So since they are not capable of doing really anything much, the easiest, the best, and actually the topmost thing for them is to chant the names of Lord Hari. So so Krishna decided that he wants not only to taste this devotional service himself, he wants to give this devotional service and simultaneously establish the dharma for this yuga, which is chanting of holy names. To be specific, congregational chanting of holy names, which means people get together and chant the names of Lord Hari on the street, in their homes, on in the fest for the festivals and for whatnot. So basically, they chant the names of Lord Hari, and this is how they perfect their lives. This was his mission. So it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrit that Mahaprabhu has some external reasons for coming and some internal reason. Not only Mahaprabhu, actually each form of Krishna, whether it's Narsingadev, whether it's Lord Ram, whether it's Krishna, or so many other expansions, so many other forms of Krishna, they each typically have an external reason. External reason means something that is known to the whole world, that is apparent to people, that is visible. Internal reason is something that Krishna wants, he desires. Krishna has his own desires, so some things that he desires. So external and internal reasons for Mahaprabhu's appearance are given in very much detail in Chaitanya Charitamrit. um, so external reason is to establish this Sankirtan movement, this Yug Dharma of congregational chanting. And internal reason is to taste the mood, the enjoyment, the happiness that Radharani feels on serving him, on seeing him, on by loving him. So that is his internal reason. Now, when Mahaprabhu came, so since he came in the mood of a devotee, he did not really show his Bhagavad Bhav. He did not really show his opulences or his supremacy as a supreme lord. Okay, there were very few moments in his entire pastime, and you know that Mahaprabhu stayed on in this material world in that form as Mahaprabhu for 48 years. 48 years. Okay, in those 48 years, his Bhagavatta was not really visible. So he did not really show himself as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is also known as a confidential avatar of Krishna or a Channa avatar. Bhagavatam describes in seventh canto of Bhagavatam, there comes a verse which describes Mahaprabhu as Channa avatar. Channa avatar matlab uh, chupa hua, like confidential, covered avatar of Krishna, covered form of Krishna. He's not really an avatar, he's Krishna himself actually. But this is a covered roop of Krishna in which he does not show himself to be Bhagavan. But this Leela that we are discussing today, Mahaprakash Leela, it is called Mahaprakash. Prakash meaning to reveal something. This is a Leela in which Mahaprabhu actually reveals that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mahaprakash, he reveals his supremacy. This was a very rare event because typically when anybody referred to Mahaprabhu as Bhagwan or Vishnu or Narayan, he would say, "Oh, Vishnu, Vishnu, don't say that. I'm just a devotee. I'm just a very lowly, impure, fallen soul. I'm not Bhagwan." So he would cover his ears and go away from that place. But this was one time after his initiation, when he had started the Sankirtan movement in Navdvip, this Leela happened. As you know, Mahaprabhu had started Sankirtan movement after his initiation from Ishwarapuri in Gaya. Okay, he got his initiation, then he came back to Navdvip from Prayag or Gaya, and he started Sankirtan movement. When he started his Sankirtan movement, now his bhakti bhav, his devotee mood, his pure devotional mood was on full display. Okay, before he used to be in very gyan type of mood, like a scholar, learned person, intellectual, trying to debate with people, trying to defeat Brahmins and scholars in debating. But now, after initiation, he started Sankirtan movement, and his devotee bhav, his this Radha bhav, Gopi bhav, was on complete display, and he was spreading this Harinam on streets and singing on streets and doing Nagar Kirtan, Prem Nam Kirtan. Part of this Sankirtan movement was there that they used to meet in one of the devotee's house, and that devotee was Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur, as you know, is one of the Panch Tattvas. So I think all of you are familiar here with Panch Tattvas, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, Advaita Acharya, and Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur is none other than Narad Muni. Okay. So in Srivas Thakur's house, they used to meet together every night, and the whole night Kirtan would go on. That's why Srivas Thakur's house is also called that place. We've been to that place in Mayapur. If you have chance, please go. That place is called Srivas Angan. It is compared to Rasa Sthali of Krishna. Just like Krishna used to meet with gopis in um, Rasa Sthali and have this confidential Rasa dance pastime. Similarly, Mahaprabhu also used to meet with his confidential devotees in the night at Srivas Thakur's house, and this place was called Srivas Angan. Only confidential devotees were invited. So other people, regular people were not invited. In the daytime, they would go house to house, door to door, on the streets, everywhere, and would widely distribute the Harinam. But in the night time, only confidential people were invited, only where this was for their personal nourishment. Because Mahaprabhu would sometimes go into these very joyful devotional ecstasies and these moments of raptures where he was like completely uncontrollable emotions were on display. So that was not for everybody to see. So that was only for his very intimate associates. So they used to meet like this. One of those days, Mahaprabhu revealed his supremacy, his opulence. So this was a rare exhibition of his divinity. That is called Mahaprakash Lila. Okay. So typically, Mahaprabhu will not sit on, of course, Vishnu ke altar pe koi bhi nahi baith sakta, and Mahaprabhu would never sit on Vishnu altar. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with sharing my screen. Just so that everybody knows, this Leela comes in. This Leela comes in Chaitanya Bhagwat. Is everyone familiar with Chaitanya Bhagwat? Do you know some of the main books that describe Mahaprabhu's life, biography, activities, instructions, teachings? Can somebody name some books? I'm just pulling up my PowerPoint until then. Can somebody name a book? Some of you may have it at home. Any book that describes Mahaprabhu's activities.
I only know Chaitanya Charitamrita and like you said, Chaitanya Bhagavad. Those are the only books I know.
Okay, Haribol. Do you know who has written Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Krishna Krishna Kaviraj
Yes.
Swami.
Krishna Das Kaviraj.
Krishna Das Kaviraj
Goswami. Yes. And who has written Chaitanya Bhagwat?
I think I know. He wrote in his diaries. I forgot his name.
No, that's different, Mataji. Chaitanya Bhagwat. Who? Anybody else knows? Vikas Prabhu, Anita Mataji, Jyoti Mataji. Anyone else knows? No, Mataji. Who has written Chaitanya Bhagwat?
Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Vrindavan Das Thakur, Hari Bol, Prabhu, wonderful. So this Mahaprakash Leela comes in Chaitanya Bhagwat. Vrindavan Das Thakur is none other than Vyasadeva himself. Okay, so he's the Vyasadev's expansion, and he wrote Chaitanya Bhagwat, and in that comes this Mahaprakash Leela. Okay, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami often says multiple times in Chaitanya Charitamrita that I'm only writing those pastimes that Vrindavan Das Thakur has not written in his wonderful book Chaitanya Bhagwat, and you should first read Chaitanya Bhagwat and don't worry about reading mine so much. So just in his humility, he's giving recognition to Vrindavan Das Thakur. But that Chaitanya Bhagwat has been translated for us by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, who is the guru of Prabhupada, as you know. Okay, so this was a day when Mahaprabhu decided to sit on the altar in Srivas's house. So Srivas in his house had a temple and altar, and on the altar were Shaligram Shilas. So Mahaprabhu took those Shaligram Shilas, he put them on his lap, and he sat on the altar himself. He sat on the Vishnu altar. And he accepted, that was a night where he accepted, actually not just a night, this Leela is called Sapt Prahar Leela. Sapt Prahar Leela means that this Leela went on for 21 hours. So as you know, in a day, there are Asht Prahars, there are 8 Prahar. right? Each prahar is 3 hours long, so 8 into 3 is 24. But this Leela went on for 21 hours. So this was a 7 into 3 is 21. So 7 prahars, 7 or Sapt Prahar Leela. So he sat there for 21 hours and he allowed devotees to serve him. So, and he had very intimate exchanges with them. He allowed them to offer prayers to him. He allowed them to, and he gave them benedictions. He gave them mercy. He showed them different forms, different expansions of his, like Vishnu Roop, Narayan form, Lord Ramchandra's form, like that. He showed various forms to those devotees based on their attachments to different forms. So this was very rare, but this is what he did. So this is how the Leela started. First of all, Mahaprabhu danced a lot with the devotees. It was exactly like how Krishna danced in the middle. And so Mahaprabhu is none other than Radha Krishna combined. So he was dancing in the middle while all the devotees danced around him, just how gopis would dance around Radha Krishna, right? So he was dancing in the middle. So they danced a lot. They did a lot of kirtan, Hari Nam Kirtan, Prem Nam Kirtan. And then he sat down and accepted them to do his abhishek. Okay. So first of all, they made a chandan paste. All the devotees made chandan paste. So this was made of sandalwood. It had kasturi, it had camphor, karpur basically, and kumkum in it. And with that, they made a nice paste and they put it on the body of Mahaprabhu. And then they started singing Purusha Shukta prayers. Purusha Shukta prayers are typically offered to Vishnu. If you remember from Bhagavatam, often demigods or Brahmaji, whenever they approach Vishnu, whenever they approach Shirodaksha Vishnu, they offer Purusha Shukta prayers. So these devotees also offered Mahaprabhu Purusha Shukta prayers. And so they offered prayers, they put paste on him, and then they started his Abhishek. So as today's Gaur Purnima, you can do the Abhishek of Gauranga's deities. And remember, this is not deities only. This is Mahaprabhu sitting there, and they are actually doing his Abhishek. So many years back, 539 years back. So uh, in Abhishek, typically 100 pots of water are used, or different things are used, like water, honey, juices, milk, etc. These various scented items, etc., are used for Abhishek. So typically 108 pots are used. But that day, for Gauranga's Abhishek, they used more than like thousands of pots, especially of Ganga Jal. The main ingredient was Ganga Jal. Remember that this is happening in Navdvip. So Ganga was close by, and the devotees were getting water from Ganga. Okay. So Mahaprabhu became curious. Mahaprabhu asked Srivas, where is all this Ganga Jal coming from? Who is making all these runs to Ganga and getting all this pots of Ganga water? So Srivas said, Mahaprabhu, I have a servant, I have a maid servant. She is bringing these pots. She's very nice devotee of yours and very simple, and she's just outside doing this service. Now remember, this is a place where it was the etiquettes of that time that uh, the ladies were not participating in this pastime, of course, because this is a very intimate setting. They're putting paste and things on his body and doing abhishek, so it's like a bath going on. So ladies will not be there. So the maid servant was outside doing this very hard work and out of sight. So Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, what's her name? I want to see her, meet her. I want to give her some mercy." So he said, "Her name is Dukhi. Her name was Dukhi. This is a very famous pastime. Her name is Dukhi." So Mahaprabhu said, how can somebody who's engaged in devotional service, it's such a joyful process, it completely satisfies the soul. How can somebody's name be Dukhi? A devotee cannot be Dukhi. It is a complete paradox if a devotee is Dukhi. Devotee is always supposed to be joyful. So he called her and he said, from today I change your name to Sukhi. You should always be Sukhi if you're engaged in devotional service. So she was the first one to get mercy. You will see in this Leela, in Mahaprakash Leela, Saptprahar Leela, this exhibition of divinity by Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu will give mercy to many, many devotees. Okay. The first one that he gave mercy to was Dukhi. So it is often described that the teaching here is that Mahaprabhu is very pleased with those devotees that are doing services in the background. They are not even asking for any credit for their services. They are not even visible to other people. So people are not even really thanking them. So it's not a service in limelight. It's not service that's very prominent. It's a very maybe a very low service, but Krishna does not see how low or big or how small or big the service is. He sees the intention of your service. Someone could be doing a very big service, very prominent service, but if their intention is like some kind of ulterior motive or some kind of a self-aggrandizement, just sense gratification or fruitive benefit, Krishna is not really pleased or impressed by that kind of service, no matter how big it is. But somebody who may be in the background, actually it is said that people that are in the background, that are at the back, they get the mercy first. So as you can see in this, he did not even give mercy to Shrivas yet. Shrivas, in whose house this pastime is unfolding, he's not even giving mercy to Shrivas yet. He's giving mercy to Shrivas's servant. So this is how our mood, this is how Mahaprabhu established the mood of servant of the servant of the servant, that I'm going to give mercy to the servant of my servant first. So this is where das anudas comes. So he said, forever you should be Sukhi. Okay, so in this way he changed her name. Now Abhishek is going on. After Abhishek was completed, then came the time for Bhoga. So Mahaprabhu, typically he would eat very less. He would accept very small amount of food. But today he kept asking for more, or love, or love. When I was reading about this, it reminded me of how Govardhan was asking for ani or love. So Mahaprabhu ate extensive amount of prasadam. In fact, devotees were going to different houses and telling them to make prasadam, and they were just collecting prasadam from everyone. So Mahaprabhu accepted it all. And the reason he accepted it all was because devotees were very eager to serve him. So it's like ye yatha mam prapadyante. They wanted to give him everything. So he wanted to take everything. So he accepted it very gracefully. It's not like he's messy or he was very graceful. They will put like dozen bananas in front of him, and within a few seconds it will be consumed and gone. So in this way, he was displaying his bhagavatta, his supremacy, and he would keep asking for more. And Krishna, he was displaying that he's Krishna, he's the supreme enjoyer, he's the supreme bhokta. Actually, we try to do bhog, we try to enjoy this world, but our capacity to do bhog or to enjoy is very limited. We do little bit of bhog, or we ate some extra stuff and we get bloated, we get diarrhea, we get upset stomach, whatnot. So we get sick. So our capacity for bhog, we think that we want to enjoy, but our capacity for bhog is actually very minimal. Our body is really not meant for bhog. We are not meant for bhog, we are meant for yog. Our capacity for yog should be unlimited, because Krishna is meant for bhog. Krishna is supposed to get all the bhoga, not us. So he was showing that I'm the consumer, I'm the enjoyer, I'm for whom everything is meant. So in this way, he was taking everything from them and enjoying all the bhoga that they were putting on his in front of him. Then once that was finished, then he started calling different devotees one after another. Now, this is so extensive that even if we spent 10 days on it, we could be discussing one devotee every day and still not finish. So I'm going to touch very quickly. I just want to give you a glimpse of it. So then after Dukhi, the next devotee that Mahaprabhu called for, Mahaprabhu was calling for devotees. He was giving mercy to devotees by calling out their names. Okay. This is a very big moment for devotees. Typically, devotees will try to, massage his feet or take dust from his feet or take remnants from his food plate. He will not allow them. He will always be in the mood of service. Remember, he has come as a devotee. So he showed the highest standards of Vaishnav Seva. He would even wash their clothes. This is how Mahaprabhu was. Mahaprabhu would even wash their dishes. Like he will not allow them to serve him. He would always be serving them. And so this was a very rare, very inconceivable moment for these devotees, that Mahaprabhu is accepting our service and is displaying this bhagavatta to us, which we always wanted. We wanted this exchange, and now he's giving it to us. So the next person he called was Shrivas. Or pura, like Mahaprabhu was in very opulent mood, very merciful mood. जैसे बैठ के जैसे राजा होता है ना, राजा बोलता है Shrivas idhar aao, like that, in a very bold voice he would call Shrivas, come here, get up and come here. So Shrivas came. Now remember, this is Shrivas Thakur, who is in whose house this is happening. So what did he do? What would he do with each devotee when he calls their name? He would share things about them that only that devotee knows, and that really they have not shared with anyone. Okay, so now there are many pastimes of these devotees. But one time, what happened was Mahaprabhu is telling this to Srivas. Mahaprabhu said, Srivas, do you remember that time when you went to attend a Bhagavatam class of Devanand Pandit? Devanand Pandit was a great scholar. He was a little bit of Mayavadi school. So he was speaking on Bhagavatam, but he was not speaking from a devotional standpoint on Bhagavatam. He was speaking more Mayavadi type of philosophy, and so not giving like proper taste. Yet, Srivas was attending that Bhagavatam class, and devotee, when they hear Bhagavatam, especially pure devotee like Srivas, he became very completely in ecstasy. He went into this trance where he started chanting Krishna's names. He became very tearful, and tears started flowing from his eyes, and he went into this samadhi. He lost external consciousness. So he started making these noises, which was disruptive for the class. Now, we should not confuse this with our situation. Some people do that in classes, does not mean that they are Srivas Pandit. We are not supposed to do that. So don't take it wrongly. But, and Devanand Pandit, who's giving the class, and his disciples who thought that Srivas Thakur was making a disturbance just like ordinary people, they decided to throw him out of the class. So typically ordinary people do make disturbances in the class. So they thought Srivas is just making disturbance. Um, this is just an act or whatever. So they threw him out of the class. And he when he gained consciousness, he found himself lying on the road. Now when he came to consciousness, he realized that he had been thrown out of Bhagavatam. So he thought, oh, Hari Bol, how come this happened that I'm not qualified to hear Srimad Bhagavatam? He started, becoming upset. So he went home, in his room. He opened his own Bhagavatam and he started crying. I'm not qualified to hear Bhagavatam. Krishna did not let me hear Bhagavatam. So he started crying over the pages of his Bhagavatam. At that time, as he was reading Bhagavatam and crying, suddenly he started feeling joy. And since then, he realized that whenever he read Bhagavatam, he feels this very wonderful joy that he had never felt before while reading Bhagavatam. It's not, it's a very deep seated joy that comes from a place he could not describe to anyone. So he never discussed this with anyone, but he started feeling this joy. So Mahaprabhu told him, Srivas, do you remember that day? And till now, when you read Bhagavatam, you feel that joy. Do you know that that day I had entered your heart and given you this ecstasy, this joy that you feel till date for Srimad Bhagavatam? So, this negative experience that you had, I had converted it into something very positive and joyful for you, so that till date you feel this anand that you have never shared with anyone. But I know, because I am seated within your heart, and I am the reason you feel that joy. So Mahaprabhu is revealing this to him, and nobody else knows about this except Srivas. So this is Srivas, when he heard this. I'm not going into prayers, but then Mahaprabhu, when Srivas heard this, he became so joyful. He said, Mahaprabhu, you entered into my heart. Krishna himself entered into my heart. So Krishna said, yes. Mahaprabhu said, yes, I entered into your heart. Now, he said, just like koi raja bolta hai na, now offer me prayers. So Srivas offered him prayers, and and he said, ask for benedictions. So um, typically all devotees in this Leela asked for pure devotional service. I'm not going into each and every thing that they asked. Nobody asked for anything material. It goes without saying, nobody asked for anything material. Everybody just asked for pure devotional service. They asked for Vaishnav Seva. They asked for taste for holy names. They asked for a remembrance of Krishna birth after birth. Like that, Srivas also asked for similar things. But the lesson here was that anytime we have a negative experience like this, because he had a very negative experience, he was thrown out of the class. But this he used to connect to Srimad Bhagavatam even in a more sincere, more intense way. Hmm? So Krishna sees that genuine, sincerity in our heart. And any negative experience, if we take shelter of Krishna, he makes it into a joyful, positive experience for us. So in this way, Srivas got the mercy from Mahaprabhu. Then Mahaprabhu said, he called for the next person. Okay, I'm just going to share one more, then we will pause for a second, and I'm going to see what people following, if everybody's following. He asked for next person. Next person he called out was Mahaprabhu's Sanskrit teacher as a child. You remember that Mahaprabhu was a Sanskrit scholar, and Mahaprabhu was a Sanskrit teacher himself. Mahaprabhu had a school as Nimai Pandit. Before his initiation, Mahaprabhu had a school where he used to teach Sanskrit to various kids, youth, and other people. And he used to teach Vedanta philosophy, but more in the manner of not devotional way, but more in the manner of teaching them grammar and how to make sentences, how to make verses, and what is the how to construct a debate or an argument through Sanskrit, teach them logic and philosophy, things like that. So he had a Sanskrit school, and he himself had learned Sanskrit from his teacher, whose name was Gangadas Pandit. So next he called for Gangadas Pandit. Gangadas Pandit, come here. So Gangadas Pandit, when he came, he told him, Gangadas, do you remember one night you were returning from, I can't remember, somewhere Gangadas Pandit was returning from with his family. And in his family was was two daughters and his wife. His wife and two daughters, they were returning from somewhere. And it was night time. It became night. Okay. Does everyone follow Hindi here if I switch to Hindi in the middle? Vikas Prabhu, Jyoti Mataji, everybody else I know.
Yes,
Yes, Prabhu,
I
okay.
follow.
Yes, Mataji.
तो he said कि एक बार जब आप आ रहे थे तो रास्ते में रात हो गई थी. And these Muslim people, remember that this was a time when Muslims were ruling the country, and especially Bengal was ruled by Muslim kings. So this Yavan soldiers, Muslim soldiers, who had bad intentions, started chasing you because they're like rapists or murderers, and they saw these people who were not Muslims, and they could exploit their women for ulterior motive, bad intention. They started chasing them. So the whole family started running, and they came to the river. They came to Ganga. They just had to cross Ganga, and they would be in safer place. But at that time of night, there was no boatman to take them across Ganga. So they were debating at that time that, it will be really horrible if Muslims captured them, if these soldiers, these, rapists and all captured them. So why not we just throw ourselves into the river and come and leave our body, commit suicide? They were just debating this. And of course, Gangadas Pandit was, intensely praying from within. Then suddenly a boatman came. So Mahaprabhu said, and that boatman took you across Ganga into the safer village, into the safer area. So did you know, Gangadas, that you had never shared this incident with anyone ever? You've never shared this with any soul ever. But I know of this because I was that boatman that came to your rescue that day. I was the boatman because when I heard your prayers in Vaikuntha, I came down as boatman and took your family across because it was your faith, your strong faith in me that Krishna will protect me. Rakshi Shaibeti Vishwaso. You have this strong faith that Krishna will provide protection to me. So I had come to protect you. So in this way, he said, Lord always comes to protect the devotee in one way or the other. Sometimes he may protect his body. Sometimes he may not protect the body, but in some way or the other, Lord will protect the interest, the soul, the Krishna consciousness of that devotee for sure. So always remember that Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, right? I'm the best friend. I'm the complete knower of everything. I'm in your heart, so I know everything. And I have complete power to protect you. So why wouldn't I have protected you? So in this way, Gangadas Pandit also got mercy from Mahaprabhu, and then he said, okay, Gangadas offered me prayers, and Gangadas then glorified him. So they will all offer prayers, and then they will glorify how Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, how is the Paramatma within everything, how is all pervasive, yet he is enjoying in Vrindavan with his most intimate devotees, and out of his causeless mercy, he comes to material world just for the maintenance of his devotees here. So like that, they will all offer prayers and glorification to the Supreme Lord. And then they would, then Mahaprabhu would say, okay, I will give you some benediction. I want to give you something. So ask me something. And then they will get some mercy, some benediction from him as well. So this was Gangadas Pandit. इसके बाद वाली जो स्टोरी है सबसे लंबी है actually, but I'm not going to go into that much length. Vrindavan Das Thakur has gone into great length on this devotee. This devotee's name nobody knew. No, not even anybody knew in the in Srivasangan. Even people did not know. When Mahaprabhu called out for him, they said, "Who are you asking for? What are you talking about? Who is this person we don't know about?" So this person's name was Sridhar. Sridhar. So Mahaprabhu said, Sridhar, idhar aao. Sridhar, where are you, Sridhar? Sorry, this is a picture of Gangadas Pandit teaching all the various students. And this is Sridhar. So he said, Sridhar, please, Sridhar, come here. So everybody said, there is no one by the name Sridhar here, Mahaprabhu. Sridhar ke naam se koi bhi nahi hai. Aap kisko bula rahe ho? So Mahaprabhu said that banana leaf seller, the banana seller, Khola Vecha, called Khola Vecha. So they said, oh, you're asking for Khola Vecha. So Khola Vecha is basically his profession. Khola hota hai jaise banana ka jo ye leaf ya ye hota hai na bark, usko bolte hain khola. So jo khola ko bechta hai, usko Khola Vecha. So he was such a poor fellow. He was such an impoverished devotee. Nobody, he was not very prominent at all. Nobody knew him in the entire Navdvip. They didn't even bother to know his name. They used to just call him Khola Vecha, jo banana bechta hai, bananas or banana ki leaves or banana ki bark or roots and all these things jo bechta hai, that is Khola Vecha. बस उसको Khola Vecha बोलते थे, नाम से भी नहीं बोलते थे. So Khola Vecha को लाना है. Okay, we'll get him. So they went to get him. Now Khola Vecha had very, very beautiful pastimes with Mahaprabhu in the past that are very sweet. And Mahaprabhu has had intimate pastimes with all of these devotees, much like Krishna has had, much like Lord Ram has had with his devotees, much like Narsingadev had with Prahlad Maharaj. So Mahaprabhu, when you read these various biographies, and these two that you mentioned are probably the most common one, but then there are so many others. There are so many other biographies of Mahaprabhu which describe various pastimes, because different devotees have written from their perspective the various pastimes that they knew of. So this particular pastime was that Sridhar, Kholavicha Sridhar, used to sell bananas, okay? And he was very, very honest fellow. Uski honesty is compared to sometimes Yudhishthir Maharaj. वो इतना honest था. वो पैसे को कम करके बोलता था, ज्यादा करके नहीं बोलता था. बनानास की कम प्राइस लगा के देता था, ज्यादा नहीं देता था. So he said he would sell bananas और जो भी बेचता था वो. तो महाप्रभु उसको आके रोज तंग करते थे. महाप्रभु at that time he was very young, so Mahaprabhu was Nimai Pandit. Nimai Pandit in his youth, he would go to Kholavicha Sridhar to buy bananas या banana leaves, because Mahaprabhu would only eat on banana leaves. तो हर दिन उनको शची माता बनाना लीफ पे खाना देती थी. तो बनाना लीफ लेने जाते थे या बनानास लेने जाते थे. एंड ही वुड harass this fellow. उसको बोलते थे कि you are cheating, you are selling it for extravagant price, this is too much, this is not right. Give it to me for half the price. वो बोलता था महाप्रभु, Nimai, how can I give it to you for half the price? I will not have anything to take home. तो फिर वो बोलते थे, अच्छा हाफ नहीं 90% पे दो, हाफ तो बहुत ज्यादा है, हाफ भी नहीं दूंगा मैं तुम्हें इन बनानास के लिए, हाफ प्राइस, नो नो, आई एम गोना गिव यू 90%. यू आर कोटिंग टू मच, यू आर ट्राइंग टू चीट मी, यू आर अ चीटर, you're already so wealthy, you cheat everyone, you're so wealthy, and you're asking everyone for so much money, I'm not going to give you this much. So he said, in this way he basically used to tease him, he used to argue with him for almost 2 hours every day. मोल भाव करना, झगड़ा ये सब झपटी करते रहते थे. So he would try to keep getting this discount. फिर वो बोलते थे, अच्छा क्या करते हो इतने पैसे का? कहते कि निमाय, I don't get much money, but whatever I get, 50% of that I give for Ganga ji. Remember Ganga ji is there. I give for Ganga ji. So वो कहते थे, Ganga, Nimai would say, Ganga is my servant. Ganga touches my feet. तो श्रीधर बोलता था, कोलावेचा श्रीधर, विष्णु विष्णु क्या बोल रहे हो निमाय? Ganga touches your feet? He said, yes, you don't know me, I'm Vaman Dev. My feet is where she comes from. She touches my feet and then she comes here. So you don't need to give her, you can give me and she will be happy. So he would say, Vishnu, Vishnu, don't say such blasphemy against Ganga ji. So in this way, they used to have this constant quarrel going on, and he would keep teasing him. So then, but Nimai knew of his poverty. He was very poor. Sridhar was very poor. He was so poor, he would not have any money to take home, and he used to wear like torn rags for clothes. He had no, जैसे घर का thatched hut for home, और जो उसकी roof थी वो भी पानी से टूट के, basically there was no roof left. And the whole night he used to chant Krishna's name and cry. And people around his hut, they were so callous, they were so crass, they were so ordinary, they could not understand the mood of Kolavecha Sridhar. So they would say, they had no conception of God basically. So they would say, लगता है इसको आज कुछ खाने को नहीं मिला. So they would go throw something at him. ले सब्जी खा ले. They were very, very crass with him. You don't work, you just cry all the night and you're disturbing us. Why are you crying? You're just making a show of calling out Krishna's names. So maybe you did not eat something today. Maybe you're crying out of hunger, like that. They would say very nasty things about him, to him and about him. So in this way, he was very genuine, very sincere devotee of the Lord. And actually, long ago, he had realized that this Nimai is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, he used to wait for Nimai to come and quarrel with him and debate with him about banana and banana prices. और फिर वो क्या करता था श्रीधर? जब महाप्रभु इतना क्वारल करते थे तो महाप्रभु कहते थे, मैं तो तुम्हें 90% भी नहीं दूंगा, 90% less price पे नहीं दूंगा. I'm just gonna take it for free. So Sridhar would wait for this when Mahaprabhu would say, I'm gonna take it for free. And he would say, please, Nimai, take it. And he would give whatever bananas Nimai wanted for free. So in this way, Nimai stole so many bananas and banana leaves from Sridhar that he could not even count. So he told Sridhar now, Sridhar, when Sridhar came, Sridhar already knew this is Supreme Lord, and he never thought he would get mercy from Supreme Lord. So जब उसको लेने आए लोग, he fainted. In a fainted condition, they brought him in front of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu told him, get up, Sridhar, get up. And he said, he told him this pastime, कि you remember हम कैसे fight करते थे? तो he said कि कुछ मुझे prayers offer करो. अब मुझसे कुछ prayers offer करो. So Sridhar ne bola, I have no qualification to offer you prayers. Who am I to offer you prayers? I don't know any like verses or any, intellectual. I have no ability to like connect words to offer you eloquent, elegant prayers. How can I offer you prayers, Mahaprabhu? So Mahaprabhu ne bola, he invoked Saraswati. So if you read, it's very, very beautiful verses. If you read the Bengali of Chaitanya Bhagavat's verses, very beautiful. Like I was reading and it's amazing. I just didn't have enough time to spend on this, and we don't have time in the class either. If time permits, I'll show you some of the verses. But he said Saraswati, he called Saraswati, and Saraswati sat on Sridhar's tongue and he was able to make prayers. Then he made such elaborate prayers. I cannot even tell you. He drew conclusions from Vedanta. He drew analogies from our Vedic literature. He quoted from Ramayana, from Mahabharata, of various examples. And he glorified Mahaprabhu so much. And finally, Mahaprabhu was so pleased with his prayers that he said, that he showed him this form. He showed him Krishna Balram form. If you see this famous painting, yes, Mataji, this is Chaitanya Bhagavat. I will show you on the screen in a few minutes. I'll share. So he showed Krishna Balram form to Kulavicha Sridhar. Krishna and Balram, who are to Shiva and Brahma were doing chamar to Krishna and Balram, and four Kumaras, Shukdev Goswami, Narad Muni, and Vyasadev are glorifying Krishna and Balram, and Lakshmi ji is making some offering, like giving some offerings to Krishna and Balram. So Lakshmi ji offerings दे रही हैं, ब्रह्मा जी और शिव जी चामर ढुला रहे हैं कृष्ण बलराम को, और शुकदेव गोस्वामी, चार कुमारस, नारद मुनि एंड व्यासदेव जो है glorifications offer करें. This form he showed to Kolavecha Sridhar. So Sridhar was so mesmerized कि I got so much mercy, like मुझे prayers offer करने को मिली, मुझे इतना बढ़िया दर्शन मिला. So then Mahaprabhu even said, please ask me for some benediction. Please ask me for something for you, for yourself. क्योंकि मैंने तुमसे इतना चुराया है, जैसे गोपीज से चुराते थे, and gopis used to wait for Krishna to come and steal. Sridhar also used to wait for Nimai to come and steal bananas and banana leaves from him. वो actually wait करता था, राह देखता था कि कब महाप्रभु, कब निमाय आएगा और उनसे झगड़ा झाटी करेगा, उनसे ये डिस्काउंटिंग ये सब नेगोशिएटिंग करेगा. राह देखता था. It used to make his day when Nimai would come. तो उसने कहा कि I cannot ask you for anything. I don't want anything. तो उन्होंने कहा, Mahaprabhu ने कहा, I can offer you riches. I can make you the wealthiest person in the world. I can give you name, fame, mystic powers, Ashta Siddhi. What do you want? So he said, Nimai, you cannot devalue what I have gotten from you. What I have gotten from you, I don't want anything after this. So जब महाप्रभु ने इंसिस्ट किया, निमाय ने बहुत इंसिस्ट किया कि नहीं, मेरा दिल रखने के लिए ask something, I want to give you something, I don't keep me in your debt like this, please ask something. उन्होंने कहा okay, then I just want that young Nimai form in which you used to do this debating, arguing with me, ask for, negotiate with me. I want that form to be always in my memory, life after life, and to be always manifest in my vision, birth after birth. That Gaur Hari, that Gaur Gopal Roop, I want to see that always in my vision. So like that, everybody witnessed how a very fallen devotee, and you can see in Mahaprabhu's pastime, Mahaprabhu doesn't care who is rich or poor. This fellow, nobody even knew his name in the entire Navdvip. Kola Vicha hi bolte the, naam bhi nahi pata tha. He gave so much mercy. In fact, if you read, it seems like he spent most time on Sridhar. Just like, Lord Ram, with so many of his devotees that seemed outcast. ऐसे ही महाप्रभु के केस में so many devotees seem from low families or out of caste, like Haridas Thakur, or even like Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, were serving Muslims. So Mahaprabhu did not care. In fact, Pratap Rudra, who was a Raja, he was hesitant to give mercy. He actually never really gave mercy knowingly, to Pratap Rudra. It was all planned by devotees. Otherwise, he did not give mercy to the Raja of the whole Odisha. He was the king of Odisha. He did not, and he was ardent, dire, and devotee of Mahaprabhu, very sincere soul. Yet Mahaprabhu would not give him darshan, would not give him mercy. And here he called this fellow, gave him mercy knowingly like this. So it was a very big deal, very important and beautiful pastime. And when all this is going on, when devotees are watching this happening, other devotees, they say joy, joy, and they are making those. I don't know if you have heard, like in Odisha and Bengal, when something auspicious is going on, they make these like cat call type, like ऐसे tongue को ऐसे करके ऐसे करके they make a noise. It's called a very celebratory, congratulatory, auspicious noise they make, and they would make that whenever a devotee will get mercy. So whenever a devotee will get mercy, all the other devotees will be so joyful जैसे खुद को उनको मिल रही है. तो दूसरों को देख के वो और भी खुश होते थे सारे devotees. So this was a tumultuous sound was going on in Srivasangan that night because of all this mercy being bestowed by Mahaprabhu, and so many forms he's showing, and accepting this service was a very big deal for all the devotees. That he's accepting our service, he's letting us offer him prayers, he's giving us benedictions, matlab, unheard of from Mahaprabhu. I'll just take a short pause here. Just want to make sure everybody's following. We have 3 more devotees to cover. Well, 3 or 4. I'll try to go quick. Is everybody okay with that if we go for another 30 minutes and try to cover rest of the devotees also?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, madam.
Is everyone following like the sequence? Some names may be new, but I just want you to start getting familiar with some of these names. Sheetal Mataji, Anita Mataji, Jyoti Mataji, any questions, or are you able to follow?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we will keep going then. So then next person that Mahaprabhu called was, who do you think this is? This is Murari Gupta. So he said, call Murari Gupta. So Murari Gupta is actually one of the intimate associates of Lord. And Mataji, you were talking about someone who maintained a journal, a diary of Mahaprabhu's activities and movements. That was Murari Gupta. Okay. So Murari Gupta is none other than Hanuman in his eternal pastimes. Murari Gupta in this form was a physician. Okay, he was a physician. He worked as an ordinary person, just like everybody does, and he never really revealed his exalted status to anyone. He was a very low-key devotee. So Mahaprabhu, that day he called Murari and he showed him his Ramachandra form. He actually in past Mahaprabhu has also showed Murari Gupta his Varaha form. Okay, his Varaha form also. Because one time Murari was chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, and Mahaprabhu was just entering his house, and when he heard about Varha, he came into that mood of Vara, and he showed Vara form to Murari as well in the past. But since Murari is Hanuman, his Aradhya Bhagwan is Lord Ram, today he showed the whole Ram Darbar, not just Lord Ram, but he showed Ramachandra, he showed Mother Sita, and Murari saw himself in the form of Hanuman sitting at the feet of Lord Ram, ready to serve. Ready to serve. So he said, he showed that form, and of course Murari also went into this joyful trance. He just mesmerized completely, kept looking at this form because his Bhagwan was in front of him. So then Murari also offered numerous prayers to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu offered him benedictions. He said, what do you want? So everybody was hesitant to ask for any benedictions, right? But ultimately, जब भगवान आपके सामने है, so you want to ask for something that is great for your devotees. Know that is something that is wonderful for your spiritual paths, your devotional service, your Krishna consciousness. That's something devotees will ask. So he said, "Ki I just want to be your servant, life after life. I just want to be a das all the time. Always be ready to serve, and never forget your service. Never, always remember your service. And for your service, I will reject the position even of Brahma if I got. Even if you give me the position of Brahma, I will reject it if it means forgetting your service or forgetting your names." And then he said, and this is something that actually a couple of devotees said. Murari Gupta said this. He said, "I would rather become a dog in a Vaishnava's house if it helps me to remember your names and your service rather than become Brahma in Satyalok. So, and give me this power that I can always chant your name." So he asked for service, he asked for chanting the name, and he said, don't give me any high position or anything. Rather make me a dog in a Vaishnava's house if that will keep me engaged in your service and remembrance of your names. So in this way, Murari Gupta got mercy from the Lord. Then comes Haridas Thakur. So then Lord called out for Haridas. Okay. Acha, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, after each pastime, because after each devotee, remember that each of these devotees mentioned at length, and there are numerous prayers, and in each prayer the devotees are quoting Vedanta, they are quoting pastimes from Mahabharata, Ramayana, etc. So the prayers are very long. So after each prayers and benediction, Vrindavan Das Thakur gives us the Shruti Fal of hearing these devotees मर्सी, मतलब कैसे उनको भगवान से मर्सी मिली, इसको सुनने का श्रुति फल दिया है वृंदावन दास ठाकुर ने. So Vrindavan Das Thakur says that whoever hears this description of how Srivas got mercy from Mahaprabhu, or how Sridhar got mercy from Mahaprabhu, or how Murari Gupta got mercy, or how Dukhi got mercy, they will get Krishna Prem. So in this way he gave Shruti Fal. So typically the Shruti Fal is Krishna Prem. So whoever, it is said, whoever hears this Mahaprakash Lila, this Sapt Prahar Lila of Mahaprabhu, without any doubt in his mind, with full faith, with full faith, attention, they get Krishna Prem. It's a very very huge deal, because this happened just one day, one time for 21 hours, and this never happened again in the entire pastime of Mahaprabhu. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Can somebody share something till then? I just have to attend to a doorbell very quick.
Hare Krishna, Pranam to all devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Murari Gupta Prabhu, so we were just talking about him. I thought I'll just share a little bit about him. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was still Nimai, when he was still young, and he had not shown his form of hadn't started the Sankirtan movement. He used to be very scholarly. So he used to be very he used to do Shastra and was famous for defeating people in Shastra and doing discussing about scriptures and other things. Murari Gupta Prabhu actually did not like that. He used to actually stay away from Dubai, because he was, as Nārangi mentioned, he was a very humble devotee, and he didn't like this. That why is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu acting like this? Why is he, it's kind of like fighting or kind of showing ego in a way that you're trying to show the other person down. So Murari Gupta Prabhu used to stay away from Dubai at that time, when this is in the initial pastimes in the Adi Lila. And so initially he used to stay a little bit away, but but so again, this is part of the the pastimes. But again, he used to stay away. But later on, when Nimai started the Sankirtan movement, then Murari Gupta Prabhu was very happy, and then he joined the Sankirtan movement. So I was just sharing how Murari Gupta used to stay away
Yes,
from.
he was very much in Gyan marg. So Gyan Yoga is something he used to really follow. Okay, so the next person that Mahaprabhu called, next devotee, was our Naam Acharya, Srila Haridas Thakur. So he said, Haridas, come here. So as you know, Haridas is born in Muslim family, and Haridas is said to be the combined incarnation of Brahmaji and Prahlad Maharaj. So Brahmaji, after, I think all of you are familiar with the Lila where Brahmaji stole all the cowherd friends and the calves, so the gopas and the calves of Krishna. And then for 1 year, Krishna expanded himself as the cowherd boys and the calves for all the cows. So all the gopis got to relish Krishna as their child, and cows got to relish Krishna as their calf, right? So that offense was committed by Brahmaji, because he had stolen all of them. And after that, Brahmaji had offered many prayers. They are all described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Brahmaji said at that time that I want to repent for this in some way, which will be a proper punishment for me. So Krishna then told Brahma that you will come in my next pastime and you will be born in a very low family. Okay, you will be born in a low caste family, but you will chant Hare Krishna, you will chant Harinam, you will chant my names very sincerely. So you will be a devotee, you will be in devotional service, but you will be born in a very low class family, because of which you will have to go through a lot of difficulty. So in this way, Haridas Thakur came and was born in a Muslim family. And now, what is Mahaprabhu sharing with Haridas? Remember that Mahaprabhu is sharing something intimate with each devotee. So now Mahaprabhu is going to share something that even Haridas does not know. Okay, what will he share? He told him, Haridas, you remember that time when you were beaten by those Muslim uh, soldiers in 22 marketplaces? I think all of you know this pastime, that Haridas Thakur was chanting the names of Hari. And so Muslims were not very happy with him. Similarly, the Brahmins, like the Orthodox Brahmins, were not very happy with him, because why is a Muslim chanting our Harinam and, getting respect from all these Vaishnavas and devotees. So they were not very happy with him. And Muslims were not very happy with him, because he had taken, taken up another path, another religion. So king had called him, Qazi had complained against him, king had called him, king had given him ultimatum, give up these names, Harinam, otherwise you will have repercussions. So Haridas Thakur told him that even if break all my limbs, even if you cut off all my body parts, each body part will be saying Harinam. So you cannot separate Harinam from me. So in this way, he was beaten up, then he was punished for this. He was beaten up in 22 marketplaces. And this is what the town was made of, 22 marketplaces, huge city, right? And being beaten, like with the whiplash and all, some pulling, pushing, kicking, right? Everything they were doing. Even in one marketplace, nobody can survive. Like an ordinary person cannot survive. But he was beaten in 22 marketplaces. And yet he was still, at the end of that, he was still completely unharmed. He was still doing good. He was not anywhere near close to dying, and he was constantly just chanting. So these people that were beating him, um, Mahaprabhu is sharing all this with Haridas. Okay, Mahaprabhu is reminding him of this incident. He said, "You remember that those people got really tired at the end of 22 marketplaces, and they begged you to please let them kill you, otherwise they will be killed. If they went empty-handed to the king without your dead body, then they will be killed. They will be punished by the king. So they requested you to die." So at that time, you were chanting my names, um, and you went into this trance. You quit your body, like he went into this samadhi, and they thought that he had died, and they threw his body in Ganga. So the whole pastime has many, many details. Why they did not bury him, why they did not burn him, why did they just throw him in Ganga, what happened, all these things, many things happened. But Mahaprabhu said, did you ever wonder, after being beaten up so much, how come your body was completely unharmed? There were no marks or scars on your body. There was no blood from your body. Why is that? Why is that, Haridas? So Mahaprabhu is asking him that. So Haridas said, I don't know. I don't know, Mahaprabhu. Why did that happen? So he said, because when you were calling out my names, I was ready to come with Sudarshan Chakra. Okay, I had my Sudarshan Chakra was lifted up. Maybe I should show you this portion in, in Chaitanya Bhagavat. He said, I had lifted up my Sudarshan Chakra and I was ready to kill these people who were tormenting you like this. But you were saying that you don't want them to be harmed. You did not want to harm them. You were actually praying for them. You were not really praying for yourself. You were actually praying for them. And so in that mood, Sudarshan Chakra will not leave my finger. It will not come off my finger. I tried and it will not leave my finger. So I did not know what to do, how to protect you. So at that time, I just decided to embrace you. I just decided to cover your body. I covered your body so that all the beating came on my body. I took all the beating on my body and did not let your body get harmed at all. So when Haridas heard this, all the devotees heard this, they were very confused. How can this be? How can Mahaprabhu have done that? So he said, you want to see? And then Mahaprabhu took off his upper cloth, like his uttariya, and he showed his body. He showed his chest and the back, and it was completely, like, brutally marks and scars on it where he had been beaten. Now, of course, Mahaprabhu has, Sachidanand body, but still he showed this to Haridas, that look how I was beaten up when I was covering your body. I don't know how to find this. I think I'll keep going because we don't have much time. So this way, so then Haridas became completely again, mesmerized, and he started offering prayers to Mahaprabhu. He cited many examples from Shastras also. He gave example of how once Parvati was attacked by witches and you had come to protect her. So he was glorifying how Krishna is the supreme protector, and you come to protect everyone. He mentioned the whole pastime when Draupadi was protected by Lord in the infamous gambling assembly. He mentioned how Draupadi and Pandavas were protected again when Durvasa Muni had come to their place in Vanvas, to have some food with all those 16,000 disciples. So how you had protected them then. So he gave so many references. Okay, and Mahaprabhu in turn glorified Haridas. So he said, you are so wonderful, Haridas, that if somebody even touches you, if somebody even sees you, if somebody even remembers you, their life will become perfect. What to say of if they even actually respect you or embrace you? But if they even by chance touch you or smile at you, or think about you, or they say your name, their life will become perfect. You're so advanced. So in this way, Mahaprabhu, both are glorifying each other. And Mahaprabhu said, just like Prahlad, your tolerance is amazing. It's wonderful, incredible tolerance, that he was also praying for Hiranyakashipu, even though he was tormented so much by Hiranyakashipu. And just like that, you were tormented so much, but you're so forgiving, so tolerant, so peaceful. Like there is not a shred of a resentment, grudge within you. So you're so pure. So in this way, they had this beautiful exchange where both were glorifying each other. Then finally Mahaprabhu said, please ask me for some benediction, some mercy. And of course, Haridas did not want to ask for anything, but then he said, what I want is, I only want to eat remnants of Vaishnava's prasadam. So the Vaishnavas, consume your prasadam, and whatever is left on their plate is the Mahaprasadam. So I only want to consume the Bhakt Bhukt Avashesh. It is said, Bhakt Pad Dhuli Ara Bhakt Pad Jal, Bhakt Bhukt Avashesh, Ehi Teen Mahabal. There are three things that are super potent for a Vaishnav: the water of the feet of Bhakta, the dirt of the feet of a Vaishnav, and the remnants of the food plate of a Vaishnav. Those are very, supremely potent. So I just want to eat the remnants of the Vaishnav's prasadam. And then he said, I just want your devotional service and remembrance birth after birth. And Mahaprabhu said, he also gave him this benediction that if someone talks to you, touches you, they will immediately get Krishna Prem. And you can see in the pastime of that, Maya Devi, the prostitute lady that had come, who got Krishna Prem, and so many other people that got Krishna Prem from Haridas. And he also told him that you have proven that the birth, caste, etc. does not matter. Anyone can become a pure devotee. He also glorified Advaita Acharya at that point, because remember that Advait and Haridas are very much elder to Mahaprabhu. So they had come long before Mahaprabhu had come. So Advait had recognized Haridas Thakur's devotional attributes and his taste for chanting. He had discovered Haridas basically. He had presented Haridas to a group of Brahmanas, and Brahmanas had actually, criticized Advait for glorifying this Muslim person who is just, okay, so he's chanting some names. Why is he allowed to chant these names, first of all? And why are you glorifying him? Why is he allowed to sit with us in your home? So they had really criticized Advaita Acharya very harshly, but Advait did not pay any heed to them. In fact, he broke up, he disassociated himself with them, and he kept himself in association of Haridas Thakur. And so Mahaprabhu also glorified Advaita Acharya for discovering Haridas. So this was Haridas Thakur. Then comes then comes Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya को कई बार महाप्रभु बहुत ही lovingly बोलते हैं नाड़ा बोलते हैं. नाड़ा कैसे क्यों बोलते हैं? Because if you remember, Advaita Acharya is the one who called, who did the puja with the Ganga water and tulsi leaf of his Shaligram Shila and invited Mahaprabhu. He invoked Mahaprabhu. He requested Krishna to come because the Vaishnav culture was disappearing and getting degraded, and all this just materialistic religion was at the peak at that time, and people were just engaging in mundane, ordinary rituals without understanding the pure devotional service. There was no more pure devotional service, and brahmanas were just making money or making fool out of people. Like that, a lot of corruption and lot of just mundane materialism was going on in the name of religion, and the whole Brahmin class was not conducting itself very well. So Advaita Acharya had actually called, invoked Krishna to come, and Krishna had come as Mahaprabhu. तो उन्होंने नाद किया था, इसको बोलते हैं उन्होंने नाद किया था. नाद करने की वजह से, उनके नाद की वजह से, नाद मतलब like शोर करना, आवाज करना, to call out in despair, in anguish, that is called naad. Jaise Mother Draupadi ne naad kiya to Bhagwan aaye, like that. She was calling out in anguish, like that. Advaita Acharya was calling out. उन्होंने नाद किया, इसलिए उनको बोलते हैं नाड़ा. नाड़ा इस वजह से Advaita Acharya को बोलते हैं महाप्रभु, in a loving way. So Advaita Acharya को बुलाया उन्होंने next. He said, Advait, please come. Now, Advait is very superior as in very senior to Mahaprabhu in age, right? Okay, this pastime also nobody knows except Advait himself. Okay, there's certain things only one can feel. Sometimes we don't know if we are getting a realization from Krishna, what is this going on, right? But Krishna knows. So there are things that are only between devotees and Krishna, and we don't share those with anyone, nor are we supposed to, because they're intimate realizations given by Krishna. So we're not really supposed to share those with anyone because they're very confidential, they're very personal. So Advait also had certain realizations like this. So Advaita Acharya used to conduct Bhagavad Gita classes in his home. And And when he used to talk about each verse, he would only give a very devotional meaning of that verse, devotional or Bhakti Vedanta purport, you can say, Bhakti Vedanta purport to each verse. He will not give any mundane explanation. He would only give very devotional, Krishna conscious purport or explanation to each verse, much like Prabhupada's. And when he could not figure out the devotional understanding of any verse of Bhagavad Gita, he would not eat. He will fast that day until the realization comes to him. Okay. And whenever that realization would come to him, he would feel it was a very deep realization. It would come from his heart, and he would understand that Krishna is revealing this to me. Like, this is not coming from my own intelligence or experience or anything. This is from my understanding. This is coming from Krishna directly. He could understand that. Okay. So in this way, he was always able to give devotional understanding of every verse, except one verse. There was one verse he could never understand the devotional meaning of that verse. So Mahaprabhu said, do you remember those dreams you used to have in which you would suddenly wake up and realize what is the meaning of this verse? I used to give you those dreams. Do you remember those verses? Do you remember fasting for those? Do you remember asking my help for those? I used to give you all that help. So then he said, but there was one verse I never told you the meaning, and you don't know till date the meaning of that verse. So he said, today I will tell you the meaning of that verse. So this verse comes in chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita, and it is a beautiful verse. It's 14th verse, 13.14. It's called, it goes like this. Sarvata pani padam tat sarvatokshiri romukham sarvata shruti maloke sarvamavritya tishtati. Sarva pani padam tat, that your hands and feet are everywhere. Your body is everywhere. You have mouths everywhere. Sarvata shruti mat loke. You have ears everywhere. So how can this be devotional? Like, this seems like a very impersonal type of verse in which all pervasive aspect of Krishna is being described. So Mahaprabhu went on to give that explanation to Advaita Acharya. He said that I'm all pervasive through my Brahman aspect. He gave the understanding of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. I'm seated in all devotees' heart. I'm also established everywhere as DT. So he gave all these understandings as DT, as Paramatma, as Bhagwan, as Brahman. And he said this is, he explained that verse to Advaita Acharya at that time. So this was very amazing to Advait, because now Advaita Acharya already knows this is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet getting that mercy directly from the Lord was unimaginable, inconceivable even for him. He had not thought that would be possible. So he also offered a lot of prayers to, and they remembered some other pastimes also. There was a pastime when Advaita Acharya had stolen the dust from the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. That is a very beautiful pastime, and we will discuss separately at another time. So in this way, then Mahaprabhu finally said, okay, ask me for some benediction, some mercy. So he said, I just want to get your mercy. I just want to be part of your pastimes every time you come. And I just want to stay in your remembrance and association, like that. So Advaita Acharya, he's already in pure devotional service. He's none other than combined incarnation of Sadashiv and Mahavishnu. He's very glorious. So, but still, he also got the mercy from Supreme Lord. So in this way, and then Mahaprabhu opened the floor. Okay, he opened the floor for everyone. He said everyone can come and everyone can get mercy. So jo bhi koi idhar udhar ka, typically ordinary people would not come to these things, right? But now he invited anyone and everyone. So people will express different things to him. Somebody asked, my father does not let me come to temple or for kirtan. Can you change the heart of my father? So he did that. He changed the heart of that person's father. Some people would ask for some mercy for their wife or for their disciples even, or for their kids. One person asked, can you give me Guru Bhakti? Can you give me some devotion for my Guru? I don't feel very strong devotion for my Guru. And so he gave him that. So in this way, people asked for different spiritual favors, all spiritual favors, and Mahaprabhu bestowed each and every favor. Like Mahaprabhu was in this mood of giving favors to everyone. So he gave favors to everyone, anyone that came to him. Then, but still there was one devotee. So everybody got mercy. Now here comes the devotee that Vikas Prabhu remembered, and that is probably the one devotee we also need to remember and know, is Mukunda, Mukund Datta. So who's Mukunda? So Mukunda was a singer in Mahaprabhu's pastimes. He's a very transcendental singer who, when he would sing, all the devotees would go into this joyful, ecstatic, devotional mood of, pure, like a very pure, very transcendental mood, complete Krishna consciousness. They'll forget their surroundings, they'll forget all materialistic problems, bodily problems, everything. They'll go into complete, raptures of joy, like Anand. Aise Mukund ki singing thi. So he was not called. So, and remember that all the devotees were being called. So Mukunda was silently standing behind the door, behind the curtain. And remember, this is a very, very munificent, very merciful group of Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are merciful, very compassionate, right? So they were feeling, they had really strong feelings for Mukunda. Their heart was connected to Mukunda because he used to give them so much joy in Kirtan. So they were not happy that Mukunda is not being called. So he said, so they said, why are you not calling Mukunda? Srivas ne bola. Srivas said on his behalf, please call Mukunda. So Mahaprabhu said, I will never call Mukunda. Okay. Now this is a very different aspect of Mahaprabhu because he is in such a merciful mood and suddenly he seemed to become very harsh. I will not give mercy to Mukunda. So Mahaprabhu then went on to say, Mukunda is someone who sometimes holds a straw in their mouth and then at other times he beats me with a stick. So इसका मतलब ये था महाप्रभु is saying कि कभी वो जब मेरे सामने होता है या डिवोटीज के सामने होता है वैष्णवस के सामने he becomes very humble and very proper devotional mood and qualities, but when he is not with us, when he is with his other type of friends, different groups में जाके वो different तरीके का हो जाता है. When he goes there, then he is not like a devotee at all. He beats me with a stick. Matlab, he causes offense against me, against devotional service, basically. He's a वो भक्ति का अपराधी है. So वो offender है. He's duplicitous and he's offender. उसको संग दोष है. मतलब उसकी association contaminated है, दूषित है. He has संग दोष. He changes color basically. So he's like an offender who is different in front of devotees and different with other people. But devotees were still pleading on his behalf. And Mukunda started crying. When Mukunda heard this, that I will never get mercy, he started crying. And devotees also started crying. All the devotees started crying, sobbing that Mukunda is the only one not getting mercy. That's not like, this is a very rare moment of auspicious moment going on, and one person is being singled out, being excluded. This was not nice. This was not good. It did not feel good to other devotees either. So they started pleading on his behalf. And then Srivas, and then some people were consoling Mukunda. But then someone asked Mahaprabhu, I think Srivas asked Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, will he never get delivered? Will he never get your mercy? So Mahaprabhu pronounced very firmly, he will not get mercy from me today. He will get mercy after 10 million of births. So 10 million birth के बाद उसको mercy मिलेगी. As soon as Mukunda heard this, he became joyful. He wiped off his tears and he started dancing. He became joyful. So he said, oh, I will get mercy after 10 million years. There is hope for me. So he became, इसको बोलते हैं, इस sentiment को बोलते हैं, to have hope for Krishna's mercy. इसको बोलते हैं आशानुबंधा. Devotees always have hope for Krishna's mercy. That's why they never give up devotional service. That's why they never give up Krishna consciousness, because there is always hope. So कभी भी ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई किसी को तारा नहीं जा सकता. कोई भी इतना गिरा हुआ नहीं कि किसी को तारा नहीं जा सकता, because Mahaprabhu's names, Krishna's names are so potent. They are more potent than your sins, your offenses, your crimes. So the devotee always has hope that if I keep on with this process, keep chanting, they have ashanubandha that I will get mercy of the Lord. So he had also this full faith in Lord. And when Mahaprabhu saw that Mukunda had become joyful, actually he had so much faith in him, then Mahaprabhu called him. So then Mahaprabhu actually called him and he forgave him also. And he said, he immediately gave him mercy. He said, you have actually captured me, you have actually defeated me. So this is completely unexpected. I did not expect that you would do that, and you did it. So I'm completely defeated by you, and I give you mercy today. So then Mukunda started offering prayers. Mukunda did not think himself qualified to get Mahaprabhu's mercy at all. So he said, I have disrespected bhakti, I have offended you, I have offended Vaishnavas, I have offended bhakti. And even though I saw you, yet I offended you. It's just like so many other people that did that, like Duryodhan. He gave so many examples of all the offenders. He said, Duryodhan also saw you, but never took up devotional service. When you kidnapped Rukmini, there were so many people that saw you, so many kings and all that saw you. And they never, submitted to you. They never surrendered to you. They always considered you ordinary. When you were being worshipped in Ratsuya Yagya, or when you come on Garuda, when you were as Varahadev killing Hiranyaksh never submitted to you. When you came as Narsimha and killed Hiranyakashipu, he never submitted to you. So I'm very, very fallen. How can I get your mercy? I have disrespected and offended so much that I'm not capable, I'm not qualified to get mercy. So 10 million births is correct punishment for me, but if in 10 million births I will get your mercy, then I'm okay with that. So, Mahaprabhu said, बहुत अच्छी सी conversation है. Like here you see Mahaprabhu says yes, that just by seeing me face to face, no one can achieve devotional service. Devotional services one needs to achieve perfection. Not just seeing the Lord does not matter. It's the service that matters. Then he says, he gives him many benedictions. He tells him, the main thing that he tells him is that whenever anyone remembers you or hears this pastime of me giving mercy to you, they will be able to do kirtan, they will be able to sing in front of me. So मतलब आप महाप्रभु के लिए कीर्तन करोगे अगर आप ये pastime full faith से सुनते हो. And you will always do kirtan for me. He told Mukunda that you will always do kirtan for me. I'm not able to pick out the verses because they're so beautiful. There's so many. So I don't know which one to pick. There is a very detailed pastime. So यहाँ पे है. Wherever I incarnate, like for example, to Mukunda, he said, wherever I incarnate, you will accompany me as my singer. So you can see here. जेखाने जेखाने हया मोरा अवतारा तथा गायना तुम्ही है बे हमारा, कि तुम वहां गाने आओगे जहाँ पे भी मेरा अवतार होगा. You are my eternal companion, you will always sing for me. Wherever I incarnate, you will appear as my associate to sing the glories of Hari. So in this way. And when everybody heard these benedictions being given to Mukunda, the sound of joy is that, Jai, Jai. Everyone was saying this. Hari Bol, Jai, Jai. Everyone folded their hands and chanted Hari Bol, Jai Jagannath. So they were all saying that. And then he said, anyone who hears Mukunda's prayers and the benediction awarded to him will become a singer with him. So Mahaprabhu ke liye kirtan karega. So in this way, बहुत सारे ये हुए. फिर एक क्या हुआ? Now this part is something worth reading. This part we can read a few verses if you want. But then last person, let me tell you, was a little girl. Okay, last person was a little girl who was niece of Srivas Thakur. Srivas ke bhai ki beti thi. She was daughter of Srivas's brother. She was very young, I think 4 or 5 year old, and her name is Nārangi. So then he called Nārangi. Okay, Nārangi was just sitting and listening. Then he called her, and he said, now, Mahaprabhu at this time was accepting bhoga, so he gave her his remnants to Nārangi. Okay, and he gave her blessings and he empowered her. He said that through her many big things will happen. Okay, and one of the big things that happened through her was that Nārangi became a wonderful devotee. She became an amazing devotee of the Lord, but also Nārangi gave birth to a son whose name was Vrindavan Das Thakur. And this is the book in which we are reading this pastime. So Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote this book, Chaitanya Bhagavat, in which we are reading this pastime. So he was, Vrindavan Das Thakur was son of Nārangi. So she got the mercy from Mahaprabhu as well. So in this way, Lord displayed his supremacy, his Bhagavad Bhav, and for 21 hours constantly he bestowed mercy on everyone. So if you read these verses, it says, Srivas Pandit was most magnanimous, therefore these pastimes took place in his house. The devotees each saw Vishwambhara. Remember, Vishwambhara is the name of Mahaprabhu, in whichever incarnation they most adored. So सबको वो रूप दिखाई दिया जो रूप, जो form उनको पसंद थी भगवान की. These wonderful pastimes of God Chandra are known as his Mahaprakash Lila or Great Revelation. Great Revelation, because this was never revealed before or after ever again. So this was Great Revelation. In this way, all of Lord Chaitanya's servants and their wives saw the Lord reveal himself day after day. Okay, so मतलब वो ऐसे दिखाई दिया उनको पूरा दिन. Anyone who renders service to the Lord with this body and mind is able to see these pastimes of the Lord. फिर उसके बाद लिखा है कि इसके बारे में लिखा है कि how other paths like Gyan Marg, mystic paths, these don't compare to anything that Mahaprabhu has come to give us. Although the Lord was seen by servants and maid servants of Srivas, he could not be known by those persons despite their study of scriptures. तो ये लोग जो इतने common लोग थे, like servants or maid servants also, they could not have, like अगर जन्मों जन्मों तक भी scriptures की study करें तो भगवान की इतनी mercy नहीं मिल सकती थी जो उस दिन मिल गई. The mercy received by the servants of Murari Gupta could not be seen by shaving one's head. तो जो सब ये सब rituals करते हैं, shaving head, ये सब, one cannot achieve this mercy by wealth, high birth, or scholarship, for the Lord is controlled only by devotional service. By popular acclaim, one cannot achieve Sri Chaitanya. The four Vedas declare Lord is controlled only by devotional service. So these revelations took place in Navdvip. Let me just quickly see. Although the Vedas describe Lord's appearance and disappearance, there is actually no end to his pastimes. Now look at this one. Lord Chaitanya performs these pastimes even today. Only when the Lord gives one the ability to see these pastimes can one see them. Others have no ability to see Lord Chaitanya's eternal pastimes. So ये आज भी हो रहे हैं. So हम जो भगवान की संकीर्तन movement चल रही है, you know, this is still going on. That's why we should aggressively, actively take part in Harinam Kirtan and Sankirtan movement of Mahaprabhu, because it's still going on. So these book distributions that we go on, these festivals, these programs, these kirtans, you know, all these things, this is expansion of Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. So all this is still going on, and unless we participate in the Sankirtan movement, it's not possible to get mercy of Lord. So if we think we can do things by our own effort, just like those ordinary people, you know, we'll never get mercy in many years, because the only hope for us in this age is to participate in the Sankirtan movement of Mahaprabhu. So उसके बाद क्या लिखा है? Let's see. In this way, he manifests himself and teaches all his devotees, and they in turn teach these topics to others. You have my association birth after birth. Even all your servants will see my pastimes. Thereafter, the Lord gave his garland and beetle remnants to everyone. फिर नारायणी के बारे में लिखा है, a young girl Nārangi, who was the daughter of Srivas's brother, the Lord gave her his remnants. All the Vaishnavas blessed her as she joyfully ate the Lord's remnants. Okay, so I think we can pause here, because I don't know what, I think we've finished here. Know for certain that one who does not believe these topics will inevitably fall down. Whoever was called for Lord Chaitanya immediately came before him. Lord Chaitanya is the dear Lord of Advait. This increases Advaita's glory also. Lord Nityananda is also very dear to Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, the four Vedas sing his glories. If a person is not recognized as a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, then even if he is exalted, he is no better than a straw. तो अगर चैतन्य के devotee नहीं हो, तो you're no better than a straw. By his mercy, one attains attachment for Lord Chaitanya. Simply by worshipping Lord Nityananda, one will not face danger anywhere. Sri Gaur Sundara is the Lord of my Lord. I always keep this conviction in my heart. Please allow me to serve the lotus feet of Nityanand, who is Ananta Shesha, holds all the universes on his head. I sing the glories of Lord Chaitanya for the pleasure of Balram. Okay. So this is how the Mahaprabhu's pastimes wrapped up. Mahaprakash Lila wrapped up. So we see how Mahaprabhu, you know, even though a confidential devotee, Channa Avatar, he confidential incarnation or form of the Lord, he revealed himself for 21 hours to all his devotees. He exchanged such intimate pastimes, and he promises that even today, if somebody engages in devotional service, pure devotional service, Lord will, you know, give him revelations. Lord will give him realizations, very intimate, very confidential realizations, and these all come within the heart. This is not something you can. There is nothing to show externally for it. It's all very internal. It's all very deep-seated. It's all very, very profound. And that those realizations will happen on a daily basis if we engage in chanting of the holy names and devotional service. Two things that Mahaprabhu cared about: seva, devotional service, and chanting of the holy names. And you will see that these realizations will keep coming, and then those realizations will help you to become more sincere in your devotional service and chanting. And slowly the taste for this material world will start going away. You will see what this material world is very mundane, and the pleasures here are very superficial, and the profound bliss that you feel from devotional service and chanting is actually, it goes very deep. It comes within the core of one's heart. It is not something one can show externally to anyone, but it will help you detach from this world, help you become aloof from this world, and engage very, very seriously in this process, this Sankirtan movement. So Lord showed that through this, that he knows everything about you. He's helping everyone. As you can see, he was giving Advaita Acharya realizations on Bhagavad Gita. He was protecting Haridas Thakur bodily. He was having these pleasant, although externally argumentative exchanges with Sridhar, Polavecha Sridhar. He recognized the very simple, very small service which was done in background by Dukhi, right? By Dukhi, and made her Sukhi forever. He even recognized an offender. He even gave mercy to an offender, somebody who he thought was duplicitous, was kapti. Unko bhi he gave Krishna prem. He gave mercy. And Murari Gupta, who used to be on Gyan Marg, like other spiritual paths, even then he gave him mercy, showed him his own Aradhya Bhagwan, pleasing, the form that was most pleasing to Murari Gupta, which was that of Lord Ram. So in this way, Lord knows everything. He's your best friend, best well-wisher, and he does not need to come here, but he comes just for our benefit. He gives us this process which is so simple, so sublime, just chanting of the holy names. Anyone can do, no qualification is needed. All you need is just your tongue, and you just start chanting just your tongue, and say the name and hear the name with your ears, and just participate in Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, and spread this Krishna conscious movement everywhere in the world, and Mahaprabhu will be pleased. So if you really want to please him, we need to take up this chanting of holy names. This is the Yug Dharma. Everything else really borders on adharma. Chanting of holy names is the really prescribed method, prescribed duty. The main duty of a soul in Kali Yuga is to follow the prescribed duty, which is Sankirtan movement, which is congregational chanting of the holy names. So with that, I'll stop. Sorry for the long class, but it is very advanced pastime. It is not typically discussed very openly, but because of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, because of Prabhupada, and then Prabhupada's disciples and grand disciples, we have these leelas available to us. And we need to hear them so that we don't take Mahaprabhu as an ordinary person. We don't think that he's, people even take Krishna as ordinary. When Krishna is showing his supremacy by killing demons, and by lifting Govardhan, and by dancing on Kalia's heads, and by so many ways Krishna is showing his supremacy, yet people think of him as ordinary. What to say of Mahaprabhu, who is coming as a devotee and not even revealing his supremacy? So people generally tend to take him as ordinary. People do not believe that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord. So it becomes very difficult to follow someone that you don't have faith in, that you can't. We need, as ordinary people, we need to see this, like chamatkar, क्योंकि चमत्कार को ही लोग नमस्कार करते हैं ना. So we need somewhere to clear our doubts about Mahaprabhu through this understanding of Mahaprabhu's Mahaprakash Lila, his supremacy, which is revealed to very few intimate associates in such a way. We needed to hear this. So that's why I thought I will इस Mahaprakash Lila को प्रकाशित किया जाए. That was my intention. Thank you so much. It's very detailed. Please read in your own time from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Chaitanya Bhagavat is freely available online. I'll stop here. Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Mahamotsav Gaur Purnima ki jai.
Yeah.
All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. Any questions, concerns, realizations? You want to share anything? Please share.
Mataji, I really loved the Dukhi's benediction, like how she was doing the service from the behind, and yet Mahaprabhu knew about her service and how he gave a benediction. So I realized that it's not necessary that your service has to be known. It has to be only done with the pure intention, and God will know. The main thing is you're doing to please God, not others. I
Yes,
really love that point.
yes. So actually जो सबसे पीछे होते हैं उसको सबसे ज्यादा mercy मिलती है. So Mahaprabhu showed that in his own life also in Jagannath temple when he lived in, remember Jagannath Puri, he lived after sannyas for 24 years. So when he would visit Jagannath temple, he would stand at the very back near Garud Stambh. तो गरुड़ स्तंभ के पास खड़े होते थे बिल्कुल पीछे, तो ऐसा नहीं कि आगे आगे जा रहे हैं लोगों को पुश करके, वो just stand at the very back. So yeah, very important point. Thank you Mataji for sharing. People do so much to become sukhi in this world, but with just a simple, very simple, pure hearted devotional service, she became sukhi within a few moments. So only Krishna needs to know, and Krishna is complete knower. People can
Yes, ma'am.
misunderstand, but Krishna will not. So he knows your sincerity, where you're coming from, what is your genuine feelings while doing the service. Who else wants to share? Mataji shared such a nice point. Thank you.
Thank you,
Anyone else?
Mataji, for wonderful class.
Anyone else? Which one did you like the best? Dukhi, Srivas Pandit, Gangadas Pandit, Sridhar. Who else did you like? Would anyone like to share? Sheetal Mataji, want to share?
Hare Krishna Mataji, all the pastimes were beautiful, Mataji. Just the Lord is very merciful, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. यही मेरे को तो realization है across all the pastimes. Even हरिदास ठाकुर का जो pastime था वो भी बहुत सुंदर था. बस merciful थे माताजी, बस यही मैं कहती.
Yes, Mataji. Haridas Thakur ko he made Naam Acharya because his Mahaprabhu's main mission, main mood is to spread the chanting of holy names. So, and you can see that no qualification is needed, no caste, no birth matters. Anybody can chant. No purity, nothing is needed. Who else? Lekha Mataji saying, I also loved Mukunda. Yes, Mukunda, because everybody else is a known devotee of the Lord, but Mukunda, who Lord was not very inclined towards, but actually he got mercy because by the insistence of other devotees, right? And Mukunda's own faith in the Lord and his the fact that he became happy that, okay, I may have to wait, but I will get it one day. This hope and the fact that everybody was pleading for him, everybody was requesting Mahaprabhu to bestow his mercy on him. See the mood of other devotees. They were asking for mercy for him. They were not envious. They were very compassionate people who wanted mercy for him. They were actually sobbing and crying when he was not getting mercy. I really like that part also. Let's see. Vikas Prabhu, Anita Mataji, you want to share? Either one of you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanut Pranam.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
it was such a beautiful class. Like in one class, it just felt like you gave us a taste of so many different flavors. So very beautiful class. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Which pastime did you like? Which devotees exchange?
Yeah, I liked all of them actually, Mataji. But like Rekha Mataji, I liked the one Dukhi, how she got the mercy. So that was the nice one.
Okay, wonderful. Vikas Prabhu, you were sharing something? Please go ahead.
I just want to say that
मुझे clearly नहीं आ रही आवाज. Can you come closer to the mic or something? Or just chat, or just type in the chat. Nagarjan Prabhu, my mom, Priyanka Mataji, anyone else wants to share?
Yes, I also like that Dukhi incident. that she was called as Dukhi, but she was doing so good work for the.
Okay, I want someone to share other than Dukhi. so many more that were more elaborate. Who else?
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Then
Krishna.
all Krishna Prabhupada. I'm sorry, I missed the starting part of the class. This is probably the first time I'm hearing even today I was not lucky enough to hear the whole Mahaprakash Lila, but I don't think I've heard the whole Mahaprakash Lila before. Well, I've heard some parts of it. So thank you very much for doing this. Pastime wise, I think yes, whichever pastimes I heard are all wonderful. But Haridas Thakur's pastime, maybe because I didn't hear Dukhi pastime earlier, but
I'll tell you
Haridas
later.
Thakur's pastime was. No, I know that pastime, like I've heard, but yes, I'll hear this class again for sure. Uh, but Haridas Thakur's pastime was just amazing. Reminded me a little bit about the South Indian Brahmin. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to him that he could not understand, he could not say the verses very well, but he said that I am just amazed by my Lord, who is so merciful that he is ready to become the charioteer of his devotee. So just like that, it reminded me a little bit about that how Prabhu is just so merciful that for Haridas, he himself accepted the uh, beatings, and how Haridas Thakur was, in a way, reminds of Jesus, how while being persecuted, he was praying for the people, for the persecutors, that please do not, that's not their fault. They are just in this condition that they don't realize. So do not, uh, be angry towards them. So Haridas Thakur is just so exalted and so humble that it is very, very inspirational. His mood, and then of course Mahaprabhu's mood. And the fact that Mahaprabhu said that the the chakra would not come out of my hand because it is against the will of a devotee. That's just so wonderful. That the Krishna says that he doesn't have control on himself, on any of his weapons. Uh, it is controlled by his devotees. Again, the Vasa Muni's pastime comes to mind when he says, "I cannot control my Sudarshan Chakra. It's in the hand of my devotees." So just some amazing, amazing points. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, see, Sudarshan Chakra desisted. Haridas desired auspiciousness for even his oppressors. The Sudarshan Chakra desisted. तो ये तो just इसका हुआ ना, अब मुझे I don't know how to find it. फिर से लिखा है, since Haridas desired Sudarshan Chakra desisted and Mahaprabhu took the beating of Haridas on his own body. I was showing you. I'll share my own personal one. My favorite was Sridhar, Kolavicha Sridhar, because I thought his pastime reminded me of like sweet, intimate exchanges between Krishna and Gopas in Vrindavan. जैसे कि Krishna तंग करते थे, गोपीज को तंग करते थे, गोपास को तंग करते थे, गोपास से हार जाते थे और गोपीज उनकी वेट करती थी that he'll come and steal from him. So Kolavicha Sridhar externally looks like they're arguing and why is he harassing the poor fellow? Usko paise kyun nahi de rahe? But actually it was a nice exchange going on between Bhagwan and devotee. तो यहाँ पे वो बोलते हैं जब बेनेडिक्शन देने लगते हैं वो मांग नहीं रहे थे, वो कुछ वर नहीं ले रहे थे. सो प्रभु बार बार बोल रहे थे, प्रभु बोले दर्शन मोरा नहीं सॉरी मागा मागा पुना पुना बोले विश्वम्भरा श्रीधर बलय प्रभु देहि ए वरा जे ब्रह्मणा काड़ी नीला मोरा खोला पाता से ब्रह्मणा हुका मोरा जन्मा जन्मा ना था. Let that Brahman who forcibly took away my banana leaves be my Lord birth after birth. मतलब वो फॉर्म ऑफ निमाय पंडित जो आके उनके लेके जाते थे चोरी करके forcibly, that person be my Lord birth after birth. and let me engage in the service of lotus feet of that Brahmana who constantly quarreled with me. Je Brahmana mora sange karila kandal, mora prabhu hoka tanra charana yoga. Like that. So this is my personal favorite of Kolavechar Sridhar. Any others? If not, we'll stop. We're getting late too. So we can do some kirtan later tonight. Please break your fast at moonrise with Ekadashi Prasadam. I think we have covered everyone, so we'll stop. Prinka Mataji, I think you joined late, so I don't know if you're able to follow, but please share if anything.
Yes, Mataji, I joined pretty late, so I don't have much to share.
Share the recording. But yeah, this is just a very magnanimous pastime of Mahaprabhu. We'll remember these exchanges between Lord and devotees are very beautiful, and we should always remember them because we are hoping for those exchanges ourselves. We are getting some subtle exchanges and realizations right now, especially more with the Vaishnavas, with Guru right now, but eventually we are hoping to have those exchanges with Krishna also. So we should delve into these exchanges more and more through Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat. Especially starting from Srimad Bhagavatam at least. So thank you everyone. Vancha kaltarubhyascha kripa sindhuvevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya namo namah. Hare Krishna.